Tim Harcourt. I'm the airport economist and a professor at the UTS. I'm here tonight at the mining dinner for ALABC to celebrate Australia and Latin America. We have distinguished ambassadors from Peru, from Chile, Argentina, Mexico, Colombia, Ecuador, Brazil, and from all over the region. And we'll be celebrating the importance of mining and the bilateral relationship between Australia and Latin America. There'll be some distinguished guests, some great speeches, and we're going to have a pretty good time, Latina style as well. And it's been a big year for ALABC. What are some of the projects you've been working on?
You know, ALABC is the only organisation that represents all companies, all countries and all industries doing business between Australia and Latin America. We take the view that partnering with people gives us the opportunity to learn, and the experiences that people have can be shared. And through that, business is easily conducted between the two regions. We have business councils that are associated with people in the region, with other councils similar to ALABC, and through that, we have a much stronger link than ever before.
There's other things that are interesting now from traditional mining. There's critical minerals, there's lithium. It's quite a new type of mining, era we're going through now.
I think the mining's made some huge strides. Sustainable mining is the future. And without mining, you don't have any level of sustainability, simply because mining generates the products that are used to have wind power, to have solar. And so mining is a critical part of the future of every country. Australia has a very strong mining base, as does Latin America, and companies in Australia are actually exploring and investing in Latin America.
So we want to put the green back in the green and gold. Mining's part of the equation.
Absolutely, Tim.
Director of the Australia Peru Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Carlos Castro, distinguished representative of the different participating companies. Dear guests, thank you very much.
G'day, I'm Tim Harcourt, the airport economist. I'm here with the ambassador from Peru. Thank you for coming and joining us.
Thank you. Thank you, Tim. It's a pleasure to be with you this evening when all the Latin American enterprises and delegations coming to IMAR are gathering here in the Fullerton Hotel.
And mining's obviously very big in Peru with lithium and critical minerals, but also Peru is the sort of the superfood superpower of the world. Can you tell us about food and superfoods and dining in Peru?
Excellent. First, I have to mention that here in Australia, we have a large presence on the quinoa market, the coffee, organic cacao, but some other productions that comes from the Andean and the Amazonian regions. Camu camu. We have also some maca, which is a potato that can produce more energy source for the human body, and then you can be awake and productive.
Before you go, I've got to ask you, this scarf, this is alpaca?
It's baby alpaca textile. It's recognizing here in the mining sector partnership we have between the mining sector and also the textile sector and the communities producing this baby alpaca wool for producing this nice scarf.
If I could welcome the Trade Minister and Tourism Minister, Don Farrell, via video.
Next year, Brazil will host the G20 and Peru will host the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit. The world's attention will be on Latin America, and both Senator Ayres and myself are looking forward to meeting with counterparts in the region to discuss our shared priorities.
Now tell us, you were very interested in your speech about the lithium market. How do you see the current state of the lithium market?
Well, I think today is suppressed, but what that doesn't reflect is where the market is heading, right? So if you look at EV penetration targets for 2030 onwards, there's a lot of projects that need to come online to satisfy that demand. One of the biggest places is going to be what's referred to as the lithium triangle in Latin America, which is essentially Chile, Argentina, Bolivia. So a lot of effort and focus needs to be put into those areas to help those projects develop, to meet the demand.
And so do you think this will now drive the Australia-Latin America relationship in the same way that, say, copper has in the past?
Yeah, and it should. And, us as an Australian company, we're actually working with US technology, but I think, Australia is one of the leading countries in the mining sector, right? Lithium is going to become an issue of national security. And I think that, with the experience and the work that's been done with the Australian mining community, working with Latin America, is Australia's got a huge part to play in extracting those resources in a responsible way in Latin America.
And have you enjoyed the ALABC function tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. I was here last year. This is very important for us. Tonight we have a large delegation here from Argentina, particularly from the province of Catamarca, where we're working. These dinners are really important. The relationships between Australia and the countries in Latin America is extremely important for business, and we look forward to continuing a strong relationship.
An Australian engineering technology has been successfully employed at Bolivia's San Cristobal mine, one of the world's largest deposits for zinc, lead and silver. As the demand for critical minerals like lithium is set to boom, our lithium-rich nations will all benefit greatly. We know we need to cooperate and collaborate to be able to reach net zero through the use of the critical minerals we have the great good luck to inherit.
If I'm doing business, if I'm looking to invest or export or trade with Ecuador, as an Australian business, what do you think would be the main attractions of Ecuador?
Well, at this moment, it is definitely mining. Ecuador has been called, last year in IMARC, the first time that it was here in Sydney, was called the new mining frontier, which was an interesting word. But this year, our main event that we have tomorrow, and you're welcome to visit us, it's called the next mining destination. It is really, there's really a lot of potential in Ecuador. We will have what will be the biggest underground copper mine in the world, with Cascabel, and there are other projects. It's only 10% that is being explored of the area that could be explored. And of course, Australia is a big important partner on that, and will continue to be a big important partner on that. But not only there, also with renewable energies, which is very important for us, new technologies, including nanotechnology, applications for medicine, robotics, and others. We have a center in the Galapagos Islands is a research center, and at least 2 universities from Australia are paying a big amount of money to be able to do that research over there. It's a leading laboratory, mega biodiverse country, one of the 13 mega biodiverse countries in the world. We're proud to also cooperate with countries like Australia in the not just the research, but the education and exchange of students and professors. This is part of what we're doing. This is part of the cooperation that we can also provide, and we can learn from Australia and from the other countries that I'm responsible.
Now, I've got to say, with the Airport Economist Latin America, LATAM Airlines were the official partner, and you yourself starred in every episode.
I know, just an amazing opportunity to showcase how beautiful is South America and the opportunities to do business there.
Well, what I liked about it is that whether we were in Mexico or Chile or Brazil or Peru, you had a lot of local knowledge of each region to do business in, but also to have fun. Do you think that's because LATAM Airlines' coverage is very good across the continent?
Yes, it has a great network, but then South America has so much to offer, right? So we don't need to be experts to know what's there and what can be done. It's one of the segments that we have been developing with the Australian investment state agencies is to bring more students to Australia, and of course, why not to take Australian students to South America as well.
And one thing we know a lot about the mining boom, there's also the dining boom, places like Peru, it's pretty special, isn't it?
Yes, you can combine traveling for corporate, for reasons, for doing business, but also staying a bit longer to enjoy some leisure.
Fantastic. So if you're a student or a miner or business person, LATAM Airlines will do a great job for you.
Yes,
Valeria?
non-stop flights from Melbourne.
Non-stop flights from Melbourne. Very good.
Yes.
You've just come back from Peru. What were you doing there?
We visited Peru Min, which is the largest mining exhibition in South America. And we also took a delegation of Australian companies to visit some mine sites and some mining customers.
For a while, you and I went a lot to Chile. Now it's more Peru, Ecuador, some of the other countries. What do you see in sort of the emerging mining markets?
Well, as you said, there's a lot of great emerging mining markets, and what they are hungry for is technology. They're looking for good innovation. They're looking to advance their mining operations to make sure they're world class. And of course, they are already world class in many of those jurisdictions. But like anything, it's getting tougher in mining. There's more challenges to be faced. The ore grades are declining. And so they're looking to Australia to provide them with the solutions that they need.
Do you think that one of the challenges of climate change means that we're now looking at critical minerals, lithium, it's just changing the nature of mining?
I think it is to a certain extent, but there is still a lot of mining to be done where we've been doing it, I guess that way for several years. And it's really, whether it's critical minerals or copper or gold or whatever it might be, mining companies are looking for that good technology to give them that competitive advantage, to enable them to produce in a more efficient and productive manner. And also, you talk about decarbonization. That's a huge thing on every miner's agenda, and so they're looking at technologies to help them in the decarbonization process.
And it's always said that Australian miners provide very good health and safety for workers. Is that some of that coming over to South America?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, COVID really drove a lot of the technology and innovation in workforce health and safety, whether that was looking at illness and disease that somebody might have, whether that's the correct documentation that someone should have on site, whether that's looking at things like wearables and making sure that your employees are safe wherever they are and understanding what's happening with them at any one point in time. Australia is really leading the way in that kind of technology.
When it comes to energy and mining, every state in Australia is a big actor worldwide. We've been able, with our team here in Melbourne, to supply more than 37 countries.
37 countries.
37
Is this
countries.
from your new factory in Melbourne, or where's it from? Where mainly from?
Every single rubber that has our technology goes from our Melbourne factory.
Whereabouts are you based? You're Australia, Latin America, USA? You're all over the world now, aren't you?
Yeah, well, home is Melbourne.
Yeah.
Of course, that I travel a lot to the United States, go to Latin America a lot, Europe, Africa, South Africa mainly. But home, my family lives in Melbourne. I always say the same, Tim. I think that Australians, you understand how cool and how great your country is. It is greater. I think that you think that it is here, but it is way great. Because of my job, I've been doing business, as I told you, in more than 30 countries. And I've been in more than 30 countries doing business. And Australia is the best one by far.
Oh, it's good to hear you say that as well.